maximum 3 5s at 125 pounds. We see Fiorot in the black, Leonardo, sorry, in the white, Leonardo in the black. Southpaw orthodox. Watch out for the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson style of Fiorot. How's your French, guys? Fiorot. We've got to put some.
No, I'm trying.
I've actually got a kid on my wrestling team named Fiorot, so it makes it pretty easy.
Oh, there you go.
Fiorot threw a nice side kick as the fight first started. Really tried to keep Leonardo out of distance, keep her at range. Every time she does that, when Leonardo tries to enter, you see Fiorot taking that side step with the left leg and then throwing that front kick.
See, the one problem she's got to watch out, too, is when you miss that side kick, if Leonardo can pass it to the side, you're susceptible for a big right hand. You see her loading up for it right now.
Or she can chase the back. You know, like you put yourself out of position when you miss that front side kick.
And she said she was coming in tonight looking to capitalize on openings. Oh, but it was
she ate that kick.
Opening right there, right in the chops.
And she ate that. Wow. Fiorot looks sharp.
Yeah, a lot of hype coming in behind Fiorot into her UFC debut. She came through the IMAF, the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation scheme, like the Olympics, Amateur Olympics for MMA. Won that, picked up 2 belts en route to her UFC contract.
My goodness.
And she thought that was going to be a big difference in the matchup. But she was going to rely on that experience of having so many other fights and extra fights, even though they're both in their UFC debut. She was going to rely on the experience from her amateur career and from her Muay Thai career and really try to pick Leonardo apart.
Oh, check right hook there.
Oh, she's sizing up it. She's so aggressive as well, Fiorot.
Yes, she is.
Leonardo's been here before, right, Paul? She's come up against the odds. She's defied those numbers, and she's found a way to win on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and as a southpaw, she's really able to use that left kick up to the head. She threw it earlier in this round, and she's framing so beautifully. As soon as Leonardo tries to close the distance, she immediately frames out with her forearm and keeps the distance so she can use her striking.
Fiorot's doing a good job of controlling the underhook here. That was a nice right hand there by Leonardo. It hurt Fiorot. You see Fiorot now kind of taking a step back, trying to regain her composure. That was a nasty right hand landed there by Victoria Leonardo.
Oh, that is such a nice, lovely kick. I think they call that a kikomi in karate.
DC, I just got the replay on our monitors over here. It was an elbow from Manon. Yeah.
It looked like she missed the right hand. It looked like it landed because it put her back on her heels, but she missed. Fiorot landed a beautiful elbow in there.
Fiorot went 4-0 in 2020, so she comes in with a lot of momentum, and she looks like a confident fighter as well.
You know, she's done a really good job of using that left kick up to Leonardo's head. I think as this fight goes on, if it progresses, she can go to the body now, and it's going to be there.
Oh, I was about to say that, man. You go to the body, and then she'll find more success with the head kick. See, because she landed the first one, now
guarding it every time.
Yes, Leonardo's very aware. But if she digs a few to the body, that head kick will present itself again.
You've only really got to look at that.
Oh my goodness!
Referee taking a close look.
That was a beautiful combination
and another.
Fiorot.
Man, you get hit with that wheel kick. It's
Holy cow!
Look at that bonus early.
Victoria Leonardo is so tough because that right hand landed right on the button.
Fiorot looking to give a different look here against the fence, maybe attempting that trick.
Fiorot's doing a really good job of controlling with her head.
Elbow on the break. Leonardo's got to keep her hands up.
I mean, this Fiorot is fantastic.
Could have a new star in the making if she can get through
really
tonight.
Fight, man. Holy cow. And so calm and collected. Everything that she gets thrown at her doesn't seem to be even a threat because she's so calm and seeing everything.
And strong as well, right, DC? Whenever the very strong athlete Leonardo comes towards her, she's kind of out-muscling her as well.
And really just, it's because she's so composed. When Leonardo charges, she just stays within herself and then throws something to counter. It's nasty.
And the basics are there too, DC. 1-2s down the pipe, just beautiful defense when it comes to the takedowns as well.
She really is forcing Leonardo to fight at her range. And because of that, Leonardo's just lost. Look at that beautiful check right hook there as she just slides out of range. And look at fiorot. Look at how she's mixing up the target. I mean, 20 up top, 10 in the body, and then 8 at the legs. So you're never getting a beat on what she's trying to do.
And she's kind of giving her like a first course punches, second course kicks.
Absolutely. But John, here's one thing that's going to show itself as the fight goes along. Fiorot now is stepping out and throwing that beautiful check right hand. And because Leonardo has to rush and has to kind of force the action, because she can't fight a technical fight, I believe that punch is going to be very damaging as we progress in the fight.
Because like a car crash, right? She's just going to run onto that power.
Yeah, and her corner's telling her to go and throwing hooks because they see that their athlete is way behind. So they're telling her, just tuck your chin, bite the mouthpiece, and just go forward and throw hooks at her. I don't know if that's the right approach against someone as technical as Fiorot.
I mean, Leonardo, you know, let's give her credit. She's still standing. She's in this fight. She is throwing back, but unfortunately, you know, she's got a bit of a kung fu traditional background herself. That's what she's got to do. She's got to try to at least attempt these level changes, get this fight to the mat, and do what she did in her fight on the Contender Series and use that ground and pound. Because right now, if she just fights at distance with Mano, she's going to get picked apart. She's too technical.
Look at that, Paul. And every time, look at the space between the feet until Mano's ready to enter.
Yep.
It's never on Victoria's terms. As Mano enters, she fights close, and then watch her get back to space. She never goes in an area where she is not controlling the pace and where the fight is happening and when the exchanges are going on.
And with that sidekick pull, it's such a rhythm disruptor as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you try to, okay, I'm going to close the distance, I'm going to rush in and use my punches, but when you're fighting somebody with that traditional martial arts background, they pick that knee up, chamber it, and throw that side kick so easily with no effort. It just puts you on your butt sometimes. It's frustrating, right? There's nothing more frustrating when you spar somebody with that kind of background, and then you try to go in, I'm going to take your head off, and then blink, and you just get knocked on your butt.
Yep.
She's accurate with it as well, as we saw with the numbers there. 50%. 50% of all of her strikes are coming with like 80-90% power as well.
Oh, yep. And Fiorot says she has worked on her wrestling to try to become a more complete martial artist. And look at her securing a takedown here. That's one of the areas you worry about whenever a fighter is a traditional striker. Can they add in the wrestling? And Mano shows that she's been working in that area.
Of course, mixed martial arts legitimized now in France as well. It's always been a challenge for French athletes in MMA to get competitive. The door is now open, and we're seeing professionals like Manon Fiorot, who just an astonishing resume really all the way from the amateur days, and we can see just how good she could be as an addition to this division.
If there's one thing that Mano didn't do enough of, it's the body kicks that you talked about, Paul. If she starts to throw the body kicks, man, she will start to get the hands of Victoria being carried a little bit lower, and then that's when she can finish her.
That's hard left hand there by...
There's a see that check
That's
right hook.
That's a beautiful check right
that
she's
she
throwing.
just really steps out of range and sits on that right hand. Luke Rockhold used to throw a really good check right hook from the southpaw position. Look. Oh my goodness.
She gets a win in her debut. What a fantastic performance by the Frenchwoman Manon the Beast Fiorot.
I mean, John, she switched the leg. She went from throwing the kick from the backside to the front side high kick, and it blasted Victoria. What a fantastic performance by Manon Fiorot.
Just dominance the whole time. Beautiful technique on the feet. She got the takedown when she needed. Let's see here. Oh, right upside. Changes it up. Comes with the roundhouse. And look, she mixes in the uppercuts. Her boxing also looking fantastic. And the aggression, like you talked about, John, she's very aggressive on the feet. She doesn't just sit back and wait like a traditional martial artist sometimes. She's very forward, pressuring her opponents, mixing in her takedowns. I mean, you can't ask for a better debut than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Lucas Bisaki has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 8 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by TKO Magnon, the Beast Fiorot.